I'm here to listen to whatever you have to say.
I'm going to kill you, Father.
Certainly a startling opening line.
Do you think it was an idle threat?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
If you're not sure, means it's possible.
Body of Christ.
Yes, it certainly is a startling opening line. Of course, you know him as Mad-Eye Moody in the Harry Potter movies, and we're delighted that Brendan Gleeson is here to talk about his new movie that's coming out. It's called Calvary. It's about a priest suddenly faced with a death threat. But this movie is a lot more than just that. But that obviously kicks things off. And so I don't know if I should say, well, hello, Father. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Set in
Thanks,
Ireland.
Bill.
And you play a good priest. Interesting character because he'd been married. His wife died.
Yeah.
So he has a grown daughter. And then he goes into the priesthood.
Right.
Which has happened. I mean, I know that's not that uncommon.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility. No, it's unusual, but
yeah.
I think I worked with John Michael McDonagh in a previous movie called The Guard, and we had been talking about near the ending of that when we were coming to the end of that movie about, you know, the various scandals that were in the church, and I remember thinking about how awful it must be for a good priest to be besmirched by the sins of others, more or less. And he had always had in his head that he wanted to write something about a good man. I think we've moved beyond a little bit. We've come where heroes, the Cary Grant kind of here, you know, Gary Cooper kind of clean-cut hero, was there into the anti-hero stage where people couldn't believe, you know, they wanted a little bit of grit. And I think maybe we've come through that now. It's been very refreshing just to actually have a seriously good man without irony.
I know. Now, did you have to talk to any priests to get any tips, or maybe you've known some over the years? So
I grew up in Ireland. That was the research I had to do. It was very Catholic when I was growing up, and every aspect of it, every aspect of life really was. The church had a special place in the Constitution, and that's just the way it was. So a lot of this was very familiar.
Of course it was.
We had a priest come in just about some of the technical things, but even those, some of them, you know,
you were familiar with. I'm
the
sure.
Ritualistic aspect of it is very cinematic.
Yes, it is. It's very true. And of course, you get to work in one scene at least with a couple of scenes with your real son, Donald Gleeson, who's a wonderful young actor coming up. He didn't even look like him. I mean, they really changed his whole look for this. What was it like working with him? Now, you've worked with him before in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, and we did a short actually that with John's brother Martin McDonagh, which won the Oscar. He was in that too.
That's right.
So no, but he didn't. Luckily for him, he looks like his mother, and he's pretty well hidden here. So there was no issue of coming out of the film. It was a very odd situation. We didn't talk to each other for about 3 or 4 days prior to it, because we're kind of duking it out, for want of a better term.
Exactly.
Morally and spiritually.
Oh, sure. So he's an imprisoned serial killer, and it's a whole different kind of thing.
No, he has a very light touch, though, John, in the writing of it. There's a really dark black humour that's quite hilarious. And people are finding themselves, they're laughing and then wondering, should they have laughed? It's a little bit like the hilarity you find at
Of course, this wasn't the first time you worked with your son either. I mean, of course, you'd worked with him in Harry Potter, the Deathly Hallows.
That's right,
Part 1. So that must have been a little different stage.
He announced my death.
Yes.
I know, I tend to die quite a lot in films, but no, it was fantastic, and it was good to kind of go blow for blow and have it coming back. It was a very intense scene, and I was delighted to have him back at the end of the day, put it that way.
Yes, I don't blame you. Well, I got to tell you, Brendan Gleeson, big fan. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
The movie's called Calvary. It opens on the 8th of August. It is a powerful, important, intelligent film, and I do recommend it.